What's up, guys? It's Mitch with SC Weather. I hope you all are having a great start to your week. I'm here to talk to y'all about hurricane season because it is about to ramp up, and that's not me just saying that. It's actually showing signs of life, and that's what we're going to talk about. There are some things to talk about. There is some potential threats down the road that we need to definitely address because there is definitely some things that seem alarming, and so let me start out by asking you guys to subscribe. Just hit that red subscribe button down there. It is a way to support me, so I don't have to make videos like this with this in my kid's room with some kind of weird thing hung up behind me. Actually normally do them in my shed for people who normally watch my videos, but I could not do that because it is just too hot outside. So I want to be able to get things, so I'm trying to get monetized for the end of the year, so I'd appreciate y'all's support. But enough about that. I just thank y'all for watching, first and foremost, for sure. So let's just jump right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the ingredients here. Check out this. This is temp anomalies for the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico here, close to home. Man, anomalies. Remember, those are the this is, in this case, sea surface temperatures compared to average. So obviously the red is above average, so temperatures are running above average. And guys, that is alarming signal there to show you this early on that it is warmed up and conditions look ripe for, if you get even a little bit of the conditions just right for development, it's going to develop, because sea surface temps is a huge role in development of hurricanes. So check it out. Another big thing here is this is the actual sea surface temps, the actual temps, and they're in Celsius here, so deciphering that however, whatever way you want to do that. But check out, you got the browns in the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico is basically like a hot tub right now. I mean, there's probably some 90-degree temps in the Gulf of Mexico, and everywhere else is really the same. Even in the, if you check it out, right off the coast of South Carolina, North Carolina, where the Gulf Stream is, it's baking. I mean, the surface temps are there, so if something gets right in that area, boom, it's going to develop and probably explode into something. So the first thing I want to talk about is since it just updated to a tropical depression from Invest 99L, is the tropical depression out there in the way out there in the Atlantic Ocean that is scheduled and forecast to develop into tropical storm. What is it? Gonzalo, that would be the next name, and that's probably going to end up being what it is, Tropical Storm Gonzalo. And it looks like, check it out, it's the National Hurricane Center predicted cone has it going right into the Lesser Antilles, and guess what, right just south of the Dominican Republic, where normally when they go that south, they normally start turning and start maybe going into the Gulf of Mexico, where it is baking as far as sea surface temps. So it's going to go south to Cuba. That looks like the route it's going to take. It's a little bit too south right now to go north of or go over the Dominican Republic, and just with the steering currents, that looks like that's where it's going to go. So that is the first storm way out there that we're tracking for this hurricane center season. So all the other ones that we've had have kind of developed right at the last second, been really small storms, nothing really alarming at all, but this one has a chance. And check it out, this is earlier when it was 99L Invest. This was some tropical tidbits here. Awesome free site, by the way, that anybody want to look at weather models. Awesome site. So check it out. It's all got it going to a tropical storm. Some of them are keeping it below that, but now probably the latest intensity guidance is probably updated all of it to tropical storm. And you got that crazy HWFI model that always wants to make it the worst case scenario. It's kind of like the NAM in wintertime, where it always wants to show the snowiest solution. So check it out. Has that thing going all the way to Category 5 at hour 120. I don't think that's going to happen. Category 4. But man, I could see this thing going to Category 1 or 2. Just saying. But I think it's going to say a tropical storm. Here's some spaghetti plots of the more broader view of the GFS ensembles here. And, you know, all of them basically showing them staying relatively south for now. But check out, as it goes further out, it starts to get into the Gulf of Mexico. Now you think the Gulf of Mexico, you're thinking, hey man, that's not going to affect us. We get a lot of our tropical systems from when they get into the Gulf of Mexico, they curve depending on what kind of pattern is in place, depending on what kind of high pressure is in place, how the steering currents. If there's a front coming from the west, it's going to push it and keep it from not going as far west, maybe into Texas, Louisiana. Depending on what kind of currents we got, it could turn and go up the Florida Panhandle through the South Georgia and go right to the Carolinas. That's what Hurricane Michael did in 2018. It weakened very fast, fortunately, but that's exactly what that did. It crushed Panhandle of Florida, and then it weakened really fast, but still affected the Carolinas big time. So that is a very common path as far as us getting affected by tropical systems. Very, very, very common when we are affected. A little bit of a closer view of, and ignore that Invest 99L. This thing is a full-blown tropical depression now. So check it out. All of them, you know, it's pretty much cut and dried. It says I have all going into the Lesser Antilles. Here's a satellite view here. It should be in motion. I'm trying to get into motion here. That's why I want to get a desktop computer so I can be able to show y'all this a lot better. But right now, this is what I got to work with, and I want to keep you guys informed because I love doing this. But anyways, has it in motion here. It doesn't show a crazy swirling action because this thing is still young in its process, but it's there. It's a blob of energy, and it's getting its act together fast. And so we need to watch this one. This looks like the first maybe threat. So we need to. Sorry about my kids in the background. They're I had to bring this inside, like I said, because it's too hot and humid outside. So if y'all hear them screaming in the background, I do apologize. But so we need to watch this one. This is the main one we need to talk about. Another thing we need to talk about, and this is the broader view here. It may be in motion, it may not here, but anyways. You see that energy, if you know where the Lesser Antilles are, it's that kind of strand of islands right there in the middle of the screen that kind of goes from north to south, south to north, right off the northern tip of South America though. But if you look all the way to the right of your screen, you'll see landmass. That's Africa. And that's where our tropical waves come off. And depending on the basically how far north or south they are, when they start to get to a certain point in the Atlantic Basin, gives us a real idea of what direction they're going to take, if they're going to kind of go south of the Dominican Republic and Cuba, or north, or right over them. And I tell you what, there's some energy coming off Africa even before this this tropical depression that's going to go into tropical storm, that has a lot of people out there a little bit more worried. And it's just the consistent energy that's showing coming off. And you know, you need a lot of ingredients together. You don't need dry air, shear. Shear's what basically just tears a hurricane apart. And obviously you need high sea surface temps, as we talked about earlier in this video. So I'm telling you, man, it's early, but we're about to enter August, and hurricane season is about to ramp up, guys. So definitely no reason to be alarmed, but I really do think South Carolina is going to be directly affected by something this year. And that's just my gut feeling. That's a lot of other people's gut feeling too. Let's get to a couple other things real quick. And it's not worth talking a whole lot on. And this right here, this is 91L Invest, and it's kind of off the southern tip, the western coast of Florida, and it's basically just an area of showers and storms. It has a 30% chance to develop, really low. Even if it does develop, I don't think it's going to do much, but you never know. At one point, that tropical storm that hit like Myrtle Beach area earlier this year had a very low chance of developing, and it just developed out of nowhere. So you never know. Here's the satellite imagery of that. Just a blob of energy, basically, of showers and storms. It's not really that big of a deal. And the GFS showing it right here. See that low pressure as we get into Thursday, it starts to make it right in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. It looks like it might give Texas some beneficial rain, and Louisiana and things like that. But other than that, I don't see that being a big deal. And really, everybody's eyes are really focused on what's going to be Tropical Storm Gonzalo. So we need to watch out for that. And we just need to start looking in general and keep an eye on the weather. We're kind of in time period right now here in July where it's slow. There's just storms. There's not really anything crazy going on, but things as we get deeper into summer and later in the summer and then into early fall, hurricane season is going to be a serious threat, guys. I really do think it is, and it's going to be something we need to pay attention to. So really, I mean, that's all I got. I can't think of really anything else to talk about, but I'll tell you what, the National Hurricane Center has this thing, what's going to be Tropical Storm Gonzalo, to develop into one with 60-mile-per-hour winds, and I think eventually it could become a hurricane. Conditions are favorable for it. They're not maximized as perfect conditions, but just keep an eye on it. The next couple of weeks are going to be active. It's getting active, guys. So that's all I got. I don't think this thing will even affect land as far as what's going to be Tropical Storm Gonzalo until, as far as America, a couple weeks from now, about a week and a half, something. So that's when we really will start seeing what this thing's going to do here in probably the next several days. So that's all I got, guys, and I appreciate y'all watching. Please subscribe. It's a way to support me, and I know I ask you all the time, but it is definitely awesome when you guys give me all this support. So this is it's an outlet for my passion. So thank y'all, and y'all have a great night.